the hell do you think you are?
You'll see right through me.
Wait, no.
To tell you that I already know that I am the best at what I do.
Welcome to StreamStalker. Here at StreamStalker, we follow actors, not shows. When you find an actor you love, it is tempting to stream all the shows they have done. At StreamStalker, we take out the time-consuming research involved, so all you have to do is find a streaming service to enjoy your favorite actor in all their on-screen incarnations. Kristian Alfonso is most known for a legendary role as Hope Williams Brady on the daytime soap opera Days of Our Lives. Prior to becoming an actress, Kristian was a professional figure skater and had won a gold medal at the Junior Olympic Figure Skating Championships. At the age of 13, she had a sledding accident that ended her figure skating career, but also resulted in Kristian starting a modeling career. She had appeared on numerous magazine covers by the time that she was 15 years old. Her first acting job was in 1981 in the TV movie Star Maker with Rock Hudson, in which she played Kelly Blake. In 1983, Kristian started her iconic role of young Hope Williams in Days of Our Lives, playing a character that already had a history from birth on the show, whose parents were part of the stable Horton family that had been a part of the show since its start in 1965. During this time period, her character Hope became involved with Bo, a part of the other iconic family, the Bradys.
What did you say your name was?
I didn't.
During this time in 80s culture, the super couple was a large part of TV culture, and Bo and Hope was one of the most popular of the era. They still have a dedicated fan following today. With the current ship name culture, they are still known as Bope or Bopey, depending on your pronunciation. During this time, Kristian played in the 10th episode of Season 1 of Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories as a character that pops out of a TV set in a quirky episode called The Remote Control Man, that ironically ends with a lesson that switching off the TV and spending time with your family is more important. Yep, in the 80s people complained about the evils of technology just as much as we do today. Kristian left Days of Our Lives in 1987. Her next character was called Frankie, in Who's the Boss's first episode of the 4th season, where she played an old flame of Tony Danza's character that buys him at an auction. She followed that up as Michelle Gambini in Murder, She Wrote. In the 17th episode of their 4th season, as the granddaughter of Salvatore Gambini, who refuses to settle down and get married at 26. And yes, back then, that was a concern. In 1988, Kristian played Cassandra Barber in Out of Time, a movie about a cop from 2088 that needs to travel back in time to 1988. She followed that up by playing an assassin sent to kill MacGyver in the series of the same name. In the 15th episode of Season 3, she plays Deborah, who at first tries to seduce MacGyver to get information on him before deciding to take him out, for being a little less than cooperative. She reprises the role in 1989 in episode 19 of Season 4. Also in 1988, Kristian appeared on Full House as Robin Winslow in episode 14 of the first season. Then, in 1989, she had an uncredited role in the same series as a judge on a TV show called Star Search in the 6th episode of Season 3. In the same year, she joined the well-loved daytime drama called Falcon's Crest and stayed with the show until 1990. The character she played, Pilar Ortega, is the daughter of the winery foreman who eventually marries her childhood sweetheart, Lance Cumson, played by Lorenzo Lamas. In 1990, Kristian returned to Days as super couple Bo and Hope returned from a trip on their boat. Kristian's stint on Days was short-lived this time, as her character appeared to die on screen in an explosion. Lucky for us, in Days, that does not always actually mean gone. When we come back, we continue the trip down memory lane with Kristian Alfonso in the 90s. If you like this video, please say so. If you want more episodes of your favorite actors, subscribe to not miss out. After Hope's on-screen demise, Kristian goes on to star in a film with Dolph Lundgren in 1993 called Army of One. In some countries, it was released as The Joshua Tree. She plays Rita Merrick, who is kidnapped by Lundgren's character, but eventually falls in love with him and ends up helping him to prove his innocence. She followed this up with a 2-episode arc on the popular 90s show Baywatch as Deborah Harris. In season 4's 6th and 7th episodes, Kristian plays the wife of an escaped convict that holds Mitch hostage to perform surgery on her hubby that got injured during his escape.
Get on the boat. Now move.
Kristian also starred in an episode of Burke's Law called Who Killed the Legal Eagle? In the 9th episode of the first season, her character Susan Bell is the assistant to the murder victim. Most viewers are familiar with Kristian playing a good girl like Hope, headstrong but with good intentions. However, Kristian has had many roles where she also plays the bad guy, and one of her best is undoubtedly Lauren Etheridge in Melrose Place, where she plays the owner of an escort agency who has no empathy for the girls who work for her, and she can get downright nasty. Her character is introduced in the 11th episode of the 2nd season. If you want the specific episode details to this, or any of Kristian's other roles, just click the link in the description below to get a printable PDF file with all the information. 1994 also saw Kristian playing Chris Madigan in the movie Blindfold, Acts of Obsession. She plays a cop on the tail of a serial killer who's really into blindfolds and handcuffs. In the same year, Kristian returns to Days of Our Lives, playing an amnesiac named Gina that happens to look exactly like Bo Brady's dead wife Hope. Now, spoiler alert, although I'm certain everyone knows by now, the girl does turn out to be Hope Williams. During the same time period, in 1995, Kristian also plays a mother and wife scared for her husband's life in a mob movie named In the Kingdom of the Blind, The Man with One Eye is King. In 1997, she plays in another TV movie called What Happened to Bobby Earl, also released in some territories as Murder in a College Town. In the opening scene of the movie, her character, Chelsea Coles, are pointing out a gravesite to the police, then starts 4 years in the past to tell the story of what happened. This is one of those rare gems we found during the research for this episode, and definitely worth the watch. Kristian's performance is, as always, phenomenal. On a much lighter note, Kristian also appeared in SteveOderkirk.com's show as Lisa in 1997. In 1999, on Days of Our Lives, Kristian expanded her repertoire by adding 2 more characters to her plate, playing a brainwashed Hope as Gina, as well as the real Princess Gina her original character was programmed to live as. The story comes full circle as we learn that during the time that Hope was dead on screen, she was brainwashed by Stefano De Mera to live as a woman he knew in his past called Princess Gina. Later, the real Princess Gina returns, and Hope is turned back into her old self. Kristian's acting to keep all these characters as separate characters with the same face is definitely some of her best work. When we come back, we get into the year 2000 with Kristian Alfonso. In the year 2000, Kristian plays her Days of Our Lives character of Hope Brady in an episode of Friends, in a reimagining show of what their characters' lives would have been like had things turned out differently. In Joey's version, he never lost his job at Days of Our Lives, and Hope is part of his storyline. In 2004, Kristian found time in her shooting schedule to work on a movie called Day of Redemption, playing Mary Everly, a woman who was murdered, leading her husband to track down her killer after he escapes from prison. She followed this up by filming a scene with co-star Peter Reckell, who plays her on-screen love Bo Brady for the TV show 30 Rock. This was aired in the 7th episode of their 4th season. In 2019, Kristian appeared in an internet video short as herself in Cool Cat's Crazy Dream. In 2020, after 37 years with the iconic Days of Our Lives, Kristian decided not to return after the COVID shooting restrictions were lifted. Her last scenes on Days of Our Lives, though initially unplanned, were poignant and brought many a fan to tears. Kristian will forever be our fancy face. That said, we look forward to seeing what is next. Kristian already has something new lined up. Before we get to that though, here is what you can look forward to next week on StreamStalker.
See, I don't mind being the bad guy. Because somebody has to fill that role and get things done. You do.
They were into it. I wasn't really.
Department of National Security, ma'am. Please stop hitting Dr. Swan. Kindly take your seat.
And if you have a favorite actor you would like for us to feature, please comment below. Now, in Soapland, there are many fake news sites. There's been rumors abounding on the internet about Kristian being recasted into the iconic roles on other soaps, and stories spread about the reason she left Days. Reading through the soap spoiler sites out there, we did find information on one of the reliable soap spoiler sites called Soap Hub, that has also been substantiated by the fact that they got the news from Kristian's Instagram. Kristian is filming on an installment of Hallmark Movie and Mystery Chronicles' mystery series with Days co-star Alison Sweeney. Which was your favorite scene of Kristian in Days of Our Lives? And which of her other roles came as the biggest surprise to you? With so many amazing scenes to showcase from Kristian's extensive time as Hope Brady, it's impossible not to miss many favorites, or even well-played, heart-wrenching non-favorites because it was done so well you cannot bear to watch it again. Zach's death. And on that rather morbid note, happy streaming, StreamStalkers!